Today, we're on a roll, literally, as we get our first crop in the ground and get our first rear mounted tractor implement. So let's dig in. G'day mates, how's it going? You're on DirtByte. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2025 20th Century Survival. I just got the tractor and our 18 grass bales heading down to the sell point just to get these ones off the tractor and away, because I want to clear the rest that we have in the field up there so we can plough in and get that field created in the attempt to get something planted this month. I think we've got plenty of time, so it's only 12:30. We are playing at ×2. I might actually just back that back to ×1. That'll give us a bit more time to actually get this field completely prepped, ready to go. We have to finish ploughing it up. We do have some field stones that we can pick up. I don't know if it's required for us to pick up. We're only using some small equipment, so I don't know if the damage is going to be too bad. So my preference would probably go straight in with the seeder and get it planted, and then we could possibly get a roller, and that maybe have to push the field stones back in to the soil a bit better than just leaving them on the top. Like I said, the equipment we're going to be using, I don't know if it can sustain that much damage from some field stones anyway. Probably just more of a visual thing to make it look a bit better. So we'll do, as we'll get back up to the top, I'm going to actually park the tractor in our little yard at the front of our shack, because it's not going to be needed for a little while. We may get to cut in some more grass this episode, but actually, scratch that. I still have to load up the bales, don't I? Yeah, I completely forgot. I've got to get the bales loaded up and then we'll put it in the yard. There's no need to race off and sell the bales. We do have $2,805, which is a considerable amount for us. That's enough to even buy a combine harvester, which is crazy. I was just looking at it, and this field that we're actually creating now is going to be a significant achievement for us. Get this done within a few episodes to get some sort of like real good progress underway. Come harvest time, it will take us a little while to harvest with the hand pushable grain harvester, but it's definitely going to be worth it. I think we're going to get quite a bit of grain from this section we're preparing, and that's going to really help us boost our abilities to get some more equipment. The most important thing when it comes to expanding is getting a bigger tractor that has the ability to have the 3-point linkages. Now this tractor is going to really help in this stage, and we will be able to use it to transport our goods to the sell point and things like that. But when we start getting implements for tractors, we need one that has a 3-point linkage. You can see this one just has a tow bar. So yeah, it doesn't actually, or doesn't have the capacity to be able to use the 3-point linkage items like we'd want to see when we're getting in and expanding our farming endeavors. I don't know how many more bales we got. It won't be another 18, it may be another 6 or so, which is still pretty good, especially from the fact that this grass hasn't had any preparation. It's literally just normal meadow grass. Actually, when you look at it, there is quite a few still sitting around, so maybe we'll get 10 or so. Another 5,000 litres of grass will not go astray when it comes to making us a bit more money and really helping to move forward and start thinking about what the next steps will be. So once we get this loaded up, I might actually just have a quick look in the used machinery sale, see if there's anything in there that's worthwhile getting. Ideally, if we could get some sort of tractor, that would be great. And if I don't know how much tractors are going to be, even in the used machinery sale. They may be able to get a really good discount. I just don't think we're going to have the funds, until we do that first harvest to really expand and get that tractor. But you never know, we may be lucky. There may be an older tractor in the sale 80% off, in which case we may have to fund it with what we have been doing in terms of just the grass. So is this the last one, I wonder? We still have this section of the field to mow as well. So this isn't going to tap out our income for this year. We will be able to get a bit more. But my primary focus is obviously getting some sort of high value crop into this area. So there's one more here. There's one there as well. Yeah, so there's a few. More than happy with the results of the harvest. Last one, hopefully. All right, let's just do a quick lap around on the other side of those bushes so we can actually make sure we've got everything. It does look like it. Now we have another 6,500 litres of grass to sell. So what do we have? Last time we had 18,000. So you may be about $700 in this trailer. Something like that would be quite nice. Or maybe a little bit less. If we keep onto it or keep hold of it until next month, the price does go up a little bit. So we can get a little bit more than what we got today, relatively, per 1,000 litres. And if there's no rush to sell, we might as well hold off as long as we can. Alright, let's go for a walk around the field. You can see that there are some field stones, like I was saying, but a roller may be able to push them in. Although rolling this field with a hand roller is going to be quite the effort. That's definitely for sure. But it'd probably be worth doing it. Before we get stuck into the ploughing, I do want to check out the store. Let's have a look at the used machinery sales. Go right to the bottom. So it doesn't look like there's, not a great deal has popped in since we last checked because we're not going that quickly through time at the moment. Let's just have a quick look at the small traders and see what we may be aiming for. So I reckon most likely our mod is going to be something that we're probably going to need to go for first. So we've got some quite cheap Volvos, $10,000 for a 74 horsepower Volvo BMT 500. We've got another a BMT 500i and a BM 2250, $10,400. If we just have a quick look at this, so it does have a 3-point linkage. And it does look like it has got the PTO, which is good. And then we can boost this one right up to being 83 horsepower, which isn't that much to start with, but at least it gives us the ability to use implements on the back. So it'd be a good start. It's $13,500. So we are quite a ways off being able to actually get a tractor yet. There's a cheaper Volvo. Oh, actually, the Volvo is actually more expensive. That's only 32 horsepower. So yeah, I don't think we'll be going with that tractor. And then that's pretty much it. We start getting into the higher 22,000 for a nice massive Ferguson that can get up to 90 horsepower. Got a few Fords here. Some of them like starting at 80 and working up to 102 for 12,500. So that may be a good option. One of these ones. Just have to wait and see. One of them may come up into the store and we might be able to get it for a really good price. Alrighty, so we're going to get back into the ploughing. Plough in, as some might say. We got a fair bit done last time in a pretty short period of time, so I'm hopeful that we may be able to get in and get most of this field created in just the one time lapse. I'm not too sure though. Obviously, it takes a bit longer when you're actually manually pushing the plough around, and I've only got a work width of about, what is it, 1.5 meters, something like that. So it will take us a little while to do. At least then we have picked up all the bales. I can whip around the outside and actually set the headland how I want it without the worry of running into any of the bales. So to do that, we'll head over here and I just start up over here and finish off this corner. And then from this corner, we can then go around the side of the road, leaving a bit of a nature strip, but not too much because I want to be able to maximize the amount of ground we have for this field. I think something like that's going to look quite nice, neat and tidy. We can back up with our hand plow and get this work started. As usual, we're just going to cut into a bit of a time lapse here. We'll see how much we get done in one of my typical time lapses. I usually record for about 15 minutes, and that does give a like a 1.5 minutes to a 2-minute time lapse, which I seem to think fits in quite well with what we're doing. So yeah, let's get stuck in. Let's see how much I can get done in one time lapse, and I'll see you once we're part way through. Well, there we go. It's mostly done. It looks like a really big open area now, especially getting rid of those old bushes and shrubs that were really filling in some of the space, especially down here near the house. It really made the area look a lot smaller, but getting them cleared out has been a big improvement. We just have this little piece down here to finish off. Now, while I was doing that, I was thinking, potentially, is it better to maybe split the field in half and do half as an arable crop and half as something else? We do have the ability to get the different harvesters, the pushable harvesters. So realistically, we could do some sort of vegetable root crop as well, or something alternative to like just a plain old wheat or barley. So I thought we'd just have a quick look to see what options we do have. We'll do a bit of a autosave. So you can see it's quite a big area. I just wonder if we can actually buy the soil information. We can. It's going to be $175. That makes sense to me. We'll probably have to do it again when we expand the next time, but I prefer to have it all ready for us now. So look at that. Looks like it's all loam, which is perfect for what we want to be doing. And in terms of what are we going to plant, like I said, actually, let's have a quick look. That's our land, so we still have this section here to do. I was thinking we maybe have to get some chickens, because if we're going to grow some wheat or barley, we can keep a bit to keep the chickens going. Anyway, back to what I was saying in terms of crops. So I think that if we did like maybe a half, or maybe a little bit more than half as wheat or barley, and then potentially use or do one of these other ones, so like spinach or peas or green beans, I think there's probably the way to go. I don't think they've got that bulky in comparison to parsnips or carrots, but they still may be a good profit making item, and we can get the push behind harvester no problem at all. And let's have a look to see when we can plant these different items. So if we were to plant wheat or barley, we could plant it now. That's no problem at all. But then something like spinach or peas, it needs to be planted later in the year. So is there anything we can plant now and harvest before then? Not really. It looks like most things are either planting now and then harvesting in a year's time or thereabouts. Yeah, so that really reduces what we can do. I think it would be a good idea to put something else in the field other than wheat. I think maybe spinach, but then do we need to have two separate items to plant them? Let's have a look at the stalk. We're going to go down to our seeders and we'll see what the hand pushable seeder can actually do. So it's this one here. So now this can plant pretty much everything, which is really cool. It's a 1.4 meter working width, can go at 10 kilometers an hour. It is only $300, so let's customize and buy that now. And then we're going to have to get some seed for this seeder. I think the best thing to do, well, we've got these hand liftable bags. Let's just maybe get 10 bags, 500 liters for $630. Buy them, yes. Now, ideally, we would actually take the tractor down, but the tractor has got all the bales on. So I think I'm just going to go down and we'll just walk the... I think I'll just go down and grab the seeder and we'll just walk back with it. Hopefully, one load of seed will be enough to do the field. If not, we'll have to go back and get some more. So let me meet you down at the store and we'll have a look at our new purchases. All right, here we are. So here's our nice seeder. Here's our bags of seed. Like I said, these are mod for hand liftable bags. You can see it fills it in quite nicely. It just makes it a bit easier for doing this sort of playthrough where you don't have access to forklifts and stuff early on. And unfortunately, the store, their forklift is not working, so, you know, that means we can't actually use it for the bigger bags. Now, I wonder if I can actually put this there and go all the way back with on the bars there, whether it will fall off. Looks a bit weird just floating in midair, but it seems like it's holding its position. Yeah, I think this will work. All right, so let me just walk this back to the farm. It's going to take us a little bit to get back there at 10 kilometers an hour, but it won't be too much. I'll meet you back up there when we're about to get in and plant some wheat for the first time. Wow, look at that. This is the first time I've seen the full field from this perspective coming back from the store. And yeah, it's in your face. It's quite a decent sized field. I do think that we are going to make some decent money out of this year coming up. What I would like to do is maybe use the other end for the wheat. So over here. And then put the spinach down here, because if we do get some chickens, they're going to be up on this end somewhere. So have the wheat nice and close to chickens. This is a bit of a wider field at this end. Just makes sense that we would do that. Another thing I was thinking is, I wonder if we need to put lime on. If we need to put lime on, that's going to be a bit of a problem. I think they do have a hand pushable like spreader. So let's have a quick look in the spreader category, this one. So yeah, there is a lime fertilizer and manure spreader. It is $300 and it's got the same 1.4 meter working width, but I don't know whether it's going to be worth it initially to do that. So let's have a look to see what the pH was. All right, so the pH has got a maximum of 6.25 and it goes down to 5.75, which is low, and it's not exactly the best scenario to be planting. But I just think for now, we're probably best just to get something planted in this field, get it underway. We are going to have to fertilize as well. So if we need a lime, then seed, then fertilize, it's going to be a lot of time spent on this. But I am also mindful of the fact that we do need to continue on, and we can't just spend hours and hours doing pretty much the exact same thing with almost the same looking machine. So I just prefer to get started with seeding, and then we'll have to fertilize next month when it does germinate. There will probably be the need for weeding as well, and then rolling. So there's so much we potentially could be doing, but I just, yeah, I'm mindful that I don't want to spend so long in this field getting it ready that we just delay moving on to make other money because we're trying to make it as best as possible. I think at the moment, the best option is just to literally get in and get something in this field, which is going to be a wheat. We've got that set. And then that should be it going in now. There we go. You can see that the texture change as we go over it with the seeder, so it makes it quite easy to see where we've been. There's going to be a lot of back and forth in this field, being only a 1.5 meter working width. Another good thing about wheat is the fact that we can get some straw from it as well. So with the some straw, that's something else we can take down to the animal dealer, I imagine, and sell. So I'm just trying to establish here. I think this will be a good point where this tree is. Let's head straight back down to the road. And yeah, we'll put spinach in that section as a bit of a trial run. We will get this multi-fruit harvester, I think it is, so we can harvest a few different items, and we'll just see how it goes for a year. I reckon it'll be worth it. It'll be something a bit interesting. And the thing about spinach too is I believe it's something that you can harvest twice. So if we get it put in the very first month that we're able to, then we can harvest it once, let it grow again, and harvest a second time. So effectively we're doubling the profits we can get from that piece of field in the same period of time. There you go. 1 headland lap completed. Just another 1 million to go. But realistically, it's actually going in pretty quickly. I think we'd get this done pretty decently in another time lapse, which will start off soon. I did note when we was going across the top here at the warning count that we don't own a piece of land here, so must be very close to the boundary. So I just want to have a quick look at on our farming map page, which if I get the right button. Yeah, so we're pretty well almost on the boundary at this point. So I think up behind the house there's a few trees, but realistically, these trees I thought were in our property are not. They must be in the next door location. If we look ahead, yeah, no, I do think that we're pretty well bang on the boundary for a lot of it. And yeah, so that we may not be that residents will make as much money from trees as what I had initially thought. Like I said, I think probably in the first episode and possibly even the second episode, is I don't want trees to be a major focus of this series. So realistically, it's really not that bad. We are making good money from just the grass itself. We will need to skip forward a little bit, so I don't intend to just like play every month, especially initially. We'll get whatever we need to get done, and then get ready, and we'll probably just skip through to harvesting possibly in the next couple of episodes, or definitely the next couple of episodes, because yeah, if there's nothing to do and we don't have the ability to do contracts and stuff, there's no point sitting around twiddling our thumbs waiting for, you know, a new month to come when we have the ability just to sleep, skip forward, and move on like that. This is actually going quite quickly. I think once we actually get into the middle of the field, though, it may take a little bit longer than what I anticipate. But yeah, let's just jump into a seeding time lapse, see how much we get done in the standard length of time I would usually go for. Get a nice time lapse going, and yeah, I'll see you. Hopefully we'll be done or almost done. But yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy me seeding.
I'll be home when the sky burns bright. Here's to the hands that never clock out, to the endless fields and the dust cloud route. I've learned to live by the dashboard moon and the mile markers changing tune. Servo lights keep me moving through the night. Servo lights, same old run, still feels right. Long day, long drive. Servo lights, I'll be home when the sky burns bright. Dust on the boots, gas in the tank, small town glow and a heart that thanks. Servo lights. Servo lights.
Well, look at that. We're pretty much done. We just have this last pass to go. I think there may be a couple of spots that I have missed just because the seed is not exactly the widest. And it's a bit of a weird shape. Fields have been like not going in perfectly straight lines. And wherever I see a piece of this, I just go over it. I think we're all good. Let's just have a quick look on the map to make sure it's looking pretty good. Yeah, quick auto save. Yeah, that looks pretty done to me. And then I reckon that's a good split. It's probably like 60-40. I just have to be careful not to drive this seeder onto the bit that we're leaving for the spinach. Otherwise, it will probably plant a line of wheat. You can take this over to the house though and get it parked up there, because we're not going to be needing this for a few episodes. It will be something that we do soonish. Again, once we got everything sorted in September, October, the earliest we can plant spinach, I think, is March. So we'll probably end up just skipping through the winter months this year. There's nothing to do. This video of me just sitting on the back porch waiting for the rain to stop is probably pretty boring. So we will, skip through to when there's a bit more adventure and activity going on. This is a good little place for it to be parked here. So as we discussed before, there is quite a few fieldstones in this area. Again, I don't think I'm going to worry about doing anything with them this time. I know we can get a roller. We just go into the roller categories. Here we go. It's in yield improvements. You can get this little hand pushable tool pack. It's 1.2 meters wide, 8 kilometers per hour. Again, I just don't think it's worth it at this point. I'd prefer to wait and then possibly get something like this, which actually we could afford to get. It's 2.5 meter working width, $800. This one is 2.8 meter working width and $800 as well. 1979 and 82, they both fit into our ear. It'll just be a matter of which one will actually be towable by our piece of equipment. This one that's a bit wider has a little bit of less horsepower requirement. I think we'll go with this one. Yes, I know it might be a bit silly to be spending so much money on a roller at this stage, but I think it's something that we're going to use quite a bit. It is only $800. We have got $1,700. So I'm going to give it a go. We still have some grass that we can sell. I just hope that our little tractor is able to connect up to it and then pull it. Now, I think it only had a 25 horsepower requirement, but again, this tractor is pretty tiny. To save taking the bales down, I think we can just disconnect the tray there. We can just leave it in the backyard until we're ready to sell it. And we can head off to the store to see if this tractor can actually tow the item we've just bought. So let's go down there now. I'll meet you there. Well, fingers crossed it's actually going to work. All right, there she is, just sitting there waiting for us. And now comes the moment of truth. I don't see why this tractor couldn't connect to it. It has got the drawbar on the back linkage. Actually, I don't know why I thought that this tractor couldn't do 3-point linkage work, because if you actually look at it, it just has the drawbar connection rather than a fixed drawbar. So we may actually have to put something like a spreader on this. That would be amazing if we could. But I don't know. Oh, look at that. It's lit up. Let's connect it up. Yes. Now, the big question is, can it actually pull up the hill? The roller, by its very nature, can be quite heavy. That's what they're designed to be. This tractor seems like it's pretty capable for what it is. I'm really happy with my choice of tractors to start this series off. It gives us the versatility of having a tray on the front for moving our bales and other things around. Got the mower attachment. We can actually put the front end loader on it, and now we can tow a roller with it. So considering this is twice the width of the seeder and we can actually tow it at 22 kilometers an hour, I don't anticipate it's going to take very long at all to roll in what we've got. So we might as well just finish the episode off with just a quick short time lapse of the rolling. So I'm going to get into that and I'll see you once we're all done with it. So enjoy. Well, there we go. We're really on a roll now. Yeah, no, I know, that's a bad pun. Here we go. Last bit to do, though, in all seriousness. I think that has made a big improvement. I think that is a good investment. It was expensive, far more than what actually the seeder cost. But it is our first tractor-based implement other than the ones that would come on the front of this tractor. So really happy that we've been able to get that roller today. I anticipate that we're going to be keeping that roller for quite some time before we get to the point where we're going to upgrade to a bigger type. That gives us this field of wheat all done. We'll close the vlog out, or the video out here. Next time, we'll move forward to September, let this germinate and get it fertilized. And then we'll probably have to just skip forward until we can actually plant the spinach. So I anticipate planting spinach next time. And then hopefully starting to do some harvesting the episode after that. So even though this is a bit of a slower series, it is starting out pretty quickly, really. But I anticipate it's going to take us quite a while to actually achieve our goal of buying every arable field on this map. Especially since we have so much equipment and machinery to buy between now and then. Be interested to see how we go and how long it actually takes us to achieve our goal, or what sort of tractors and implements we start to buy in the coming episodes. Please remember to like and subscribe. And for now, remember to keep your boots dirty and your butts clean. And I'll catch you next time on DirtByte.